Hi, my dear Astro family. Today we are going to be talking about the new moon in Capricorn, which is going to be happening on the 23rd of December at 10:16 a.m. Universal Time. And it's going to take place on 1 degree 32 minutes in the sign of Capricorn. Now, firstly, I think this is a great period of time to actually make any type of new year promises basically, because this new moon is a powerful one. Uh, we have got a T square formation to speak about because we have got a very tight square from Jupiter and Ceres to this new moon. So we definitely want to be talking about that. And also we have got a Hygeia conjunction to the new moon almost to the minute, actually. And not only that, but Hygeia is actually out of bound alongside with the Moon, Venus, Pallas Athene, and Mars too. So we have got loads to cover in this new moon video, so stay tuned till the very end. Now, when you look at the chart, straight away you're going to see that we have got so much cardinal energy going on. We have got 6 planets in the sign of the cardinal signs, and the cardinal energies are always about initiating something new. Now, the fact that we do have got Jupiter actually on 0 degree of Aries, which is the Aries point, the start of everything, kind of like the world axis, it's going to be impacting the whole world significantly what this new moon brings for us. And also you will see that we have got loads of loads of earth element as well, due to the fact that we have got a stellium in the sign of Capricorn. And if you think about what earth is, it's about stability, security. Um, so one of the major question is, what do I need to feel secure about my own position? Now, you also see that there is a ball chart shape going on at the moment, and the leading planet is the moon. Now, let's just think about what the moon is. Moon is basically about, and the ball chart is also ruled by moon as well. So it's very interesting. So moon is out of bound here, and moon talks about your emotional needs. And an out of bound moon kind of would represent that I need everything and I need it now. Out of bound planets are always about kind of like a Uranian flavor to it, and Uranus is right now type of energy, or if I don't get it, I'm kind of gonna throw an emotional tantrum overall. So interesting energies we have got to look at here. Now, um, so when we look at the fact that we have got so much Capricorn energy going on, you will see the Sun, Moon, Hygeia there, but we have got Pluto there, we've got Mercury there, which is actually stationing, or it's in the shadow zone, it's moving extremely slowly. So some of the topics, what comes up with this Capricorn new moon is that, how do I want to see myself in the world? Capricorn is very career orientated. It's not always actually about money, though, because sometimes it represents the status, what we want to achieve. It's about being respected, looked up to, and receiving a reward for our hard work overall. So Capricorn always wants to accomplish something meaningful. They want to make an impact on the world. Often, it can actually indicate that we have got some strange relationship with hierarchy figures and bosses overall, because it will be a stellium and we need to be, kind of realistic about our positions. It is it is a defining for you that there is loads of maturing to do. You know, being kind of like the person who realizes that, what, others have got problems too. And I also have got problems. But you know what? I'm gonna be the bigger person and I'm gonna know how to handle that. Also, this new moon might want you to look at your coping mechanism. Uh, um, because Capricorn does talk about your blockages. your fears, which you need to overcome if you want to activate the Jupiter in the sign of Aries on 0 degree, which is going to be very courageous and brave. And it's about wanting to experience the freedom, wanting to say out loud say out loud or show to others who they are. Uh, and this is something you want to be bringing into the public eye because Capricorn is about public eye. So you might want to ask yourself the question, how does your pair or how do your parents influence your career? Or in what ways do I act like my parents? Or what is my relationship with hierarchy figures and bosses around me? What do I want to be accomplishing? That's why this new moon, is a brilliant one to set your intentions. And it's okay if you fail because remember, Jupiter is squaring. So often what happens is that we have got so much on our plate. We are so enthusiastic about all these plans, what we want to achieve in 2023, but we need to have a systematic approach to it. Often a Capricorn new moon would say that, you know what? We just need a mentor, someone who is going to set boundaries for us. Or I need to become the mentor myself to others. Often a Capricorn new moon does bring up the question, about what makes us feel successful, but also in what ways do we sabotage ourselves? Or do you live according to your own codes? Do you lead by example? How do you define success? Some of these questions will be highlighted for plenty of us. Now, as I said, the moon is actually leading this ball-shaped chart, and it has been going on for a while anyway. So this would really talk about that, you know what, I need status. I need to be a good parent, for instance, or I need to be recognized for all the work I do. So imagine this is very close to Christmas Eve, right? So, you might feel that I have been working extremely hard, preparing all these delicious meals, and no one really says thank you, or no one really recognizes how much effort I've made. So we can feel a little bit, too emotional. And that is also going to be coming from the fact that Ceres is also squaring this new moon energy from the sign of Libra, which is other people. So you might feel that they don't nurture you. They don't even deserve all the preparation what we do. So some of the keywords which comes with Capricorn is that, we follow traditions. We need great time management going on. We need to have a plan and we need to structure whatever we want to be achieving in 2023. But we also have to be responsible for our own actions too. Now the fact that Jupiter actually squares the moon, I mean the new moon, Jupiter in the sign of Aries is about uh coming up with all the ideas of who we are, who we can be potentially, right? But because moon is in the sign of Capricorn, which is talking about, what, we have got responsibilities to attend. We cannot just we cannot just put them aside whenever we want to. So it's kind of like a little bit of trying to juggle between two things. And then it can make you extremely tired. Now, how Hygeia pops up in the picture is that Hygeia is the planet of health. So often, actually, it represents that people feel burned out. With that new moon to Jupiter, often we can overreact or over-respond to situations, or we take on way too much responsibility, and then we cannot keep our promises. We can become overly generous. And Capricorn does say that, what, it's great to look after others, but I also have to be looking after my own needs too. It's also about, kind of like wanting to receive recognitions from others. But is that really the reason why I make all these Christmas dinner, for instance? And that's okay, we all want to get that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but are you going to feel down or are you going to feel stressed out because of that? Now, that moon, as I said, is being squared by Ceres, and then we have got Jupiter on the other tail of the end, in the sign of Aries. Sorry, Ceres is in the sign of Libra. So Ceres is about nurturing, Libra, other people. So I'm nurturing other people, but Jupiter in the sign of Aries says, you know what, I would like to be nurtured by others once and for all. So we have got this inner struggle. And Hygeia and the new moon is the apex of that opposition, which would really talk about that it's time to prevent all this situation. And Capricorn can talk about delegation, getting others involved as well, for instance, in that Christmas dinner. I'm talking about Christmas dinner a lot. I'm not necessarily a person who, celebrates Christmas that much, but I do understand that others do, you know. And obviously it's kind of like a seasonal topic, but try to place that into the house position wherever this T-square is actually going on in your chart. Often actually it could indicate, for instance, with this T-square is that I would really like to be together with my loved ones, but actually for some reason I've got too much responsibility going on, or the need to kind of break the traditions also. Or you might feel that because series is something to do with cooking, that people are actually patronizing you, or trying to tell you that, we don't need to follow the traditions anymore. Let's do something new. Or you want to be doing something new, and then others don't necessarily want to follow that because we are used to doing something. Often, actually, this can indicate that, I'm going to be a little bit far away from my birth town as well. And all I'm craving for is just to be spending some time at home with my immediate loved ones, and we're going to cuddle up on the sofa and watch telly or whatever it is. Watch out for this Jupiter square, because often, I mean, Jupiter can represent waste. So we can overdo things. Ceres moon overcooking, for instance, or becoming overly nurturing to others, or we can become overly protective as well. It's very easy to give a call to a loved ones. Oh, just be careful on the roads. There is ice on the road, and so on, and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, so the other thing which is very interesting is because obviously Aries and Capricorn are squaring each other. So Aries wants to get ahead and wants to initiate something, but then Capricorn says, hold on a minute, we need to be cautious about it. We need a strategy for it. Or Aries feels this Jupiter in Aries is kind of like these pumped up muscles, really, kind of like when you inject yourself with some steroids to look amazing type of stuff. And then Capricorn new moon says, yeah, that's great. However, what is the long lasting result of that? Once you stop it, it's not going to work. So we need to practice patience there. Aries wants to conquer the world, but we keep running into some brick walls. So instead of running against that wall, I'm going to climb that over. What type of strategy I'm going to come up with so that actually once and for all, I tackle the problem. So it's really about wanting to achieve something, but we keep running into some issues. Now, as I mentioned, this new moon actually conjuncts Hygeia. Very interesting because I think we have spoken about Hygeia before. This is not the first time when Hygeia pops up in one of our new moon charts. If you want to be looking at Hygeia in your own chart, then it would be the asteroid number 10. And Hygeia does not only talk about health, but actually talks about practice, the routines, the daily practice, what we do. So, such as, oh, we brush our teeth because we don't want, later on to have toothache, for instance. Or we wash hands all the time, or we wear masks, and so on. So, unfortunately, hygiene, the sign of Capricorn, can really talk about the limitations some of the health societies will be putting on us to kind of protect us, and that would be the Capricorn element. But then we have got Jupiter in the sign of Aries, who kind of feels like blocked in their sense of freedom, because Aries is very individualistic, very freedom seeker, especially with um, Jupiter in there. So, but on a personal level, this could really talk about, for instance, how you are going to be protecting yourself to get sick. I kind of feel like this is a little bit of a flu season, not just because of the winter, but I kind of feel like this combination can bring a little bit of a flu season, a little bit stronger one. So we need to be just careful with that. But also, Capricorn is a work-related sign as well. So this could talk about, because the high GA is about prevention. So how to prevent certain type of workforce issues, for example, such as, oh, how to get people to come to work on a New Year's Eve. Now, when I was working in catering, it was a forever debate. And then I was planning that 1.5 months before, obviously working in catering, working with youngsters, they wanted to party, but they also wanted Christmas. And in catering business, that's not really working out. So I had to come up with a solution where, you know what, I'm going to guarantee you one of them, to be completely off, but you're going to have to work the other one. So you make the choice which one you want. So I collected all that. And then, I tried to make a fair and square schedule accordingly. So how to prevent these work situations, for example. Hygeia was actually the daughter of Asclepius. He was the god of medicine, and she learned everything from her father, and then she even mastered her skills a lot more. And we can probably say that she became better than her own father. So it's about being better at at something as well. So bettering yourself, bettering your position in the world, it's often, I think, Hygeia, from that point of view, it could talk about paranoia as well a little bit, because being too cautious, being too focused, makes the possibility to make a mistake, right? And that's where Jupiter comes into the picture, who wants to remind you that sometimes you're just going to have to step on the gas pedal and you're going to have to go with the flow, you know. And also, because Hygeia, kind of like the symbol of that, or the claim of it, is two snakes wrapped around the rod. And the rod will be the staff of Hermes. And there's a little star above the snake as well. Now, the snake is definitely representing regeneration, the poison, the cure at the same time. So by making a mistake, I might be able to come up with a solution as well. Um, so this new moon for me. Oh, and then sorry. So we said that we have got this T-square element going on. So obviously Jupiter in the sign of Aries, which is very much focusing on the self. And then we have got Ceres in the sign of Libra. Now, that would be very much about the focus is going on other people. So we're going to have to find a healthy balance there. Now, Ceres is on actually 1 degree of Libra, if you are wondering. Now, the dispositor of this new moon is Saturn, which is sitting in the sign of Aquarius around 21.5 degrees. But actually, what happens is that this Saturn is not making any major aspect at the moment. We might say that it is still within orb from Uranus. I think it's a little bit too far now because Uranus is on 15 degree, but no aspect to that Saturn. So, you know, Saturn has been here and done the work already, okay? Saturn and Uranus square probably was the most challenging one in the last couple of years, you know, and then it wanted to make us aware that certain things are not working in our life and we need to modify those, you know, and Saturn has been here already. Now, what I mean by that is that, you know, what we need to prevent, you know, is something which already happened in the past. But we're gonna have to get out of our comfort zone a little bit. It's about setting intentions, what we want to be achieving, you know. So what type of ideas do you have for 2023? What do you want to achieve? How to have these clear goals? How to come up with simple solutions to certain things? But most likely, who are you? And how are you gonna get there? I think these are going to be some of the most important questions. You know, maybe, for instance, with the Hygia, you know, you kind of say that, oh, last year I made so many New Year's Eve promises and resolutions, and then I haven't done any of that. So what am I going to change not to make the same mistake? So let me know what your New Year's resolutions are. Mine is I'm preparing myself for Saturn moving into the sign of Pisces. I'm healing at the moment. I just had a surgery 4 days ago, but I feel a lot stronger. There is hardly any pain, thank God. And I'm preparing myself for Saturn to go into the sign of Pisces. So the simple resolution I've got for this year is to lean down. So I lost the weight. I've got the body now to work with. Now the muscles start to pop out, basically. That's going to be my New Year's Eve resolution. Well, I would like to thank you for each of you for watching me in 2022. I hope my videos help you get aligned with your astrological map a little bit and to prepare yourself for this period of time. And I would like to wish you all the beauty and harmony during the festive periods. See you soon. Bye-bye.